Chicago is a city like no other. It's the people and the food. It's the music and the vibe. You won't find it anywhere but here. And the best part? It's a city that was built by labor for labor. And that will always be the Windy City's legacy. The machinists are part of that history. In a city that never sleeps, it's labor that makes it sing.
Water doesn't come out of your faucet unless organized labor touches it. The lights do not go on in this city unless organized labor touches it. Music doesn't play unless organized labor is a part of it. Organized labor is a part of what makes this city so great.
It's the workers that make Chicago work. Around every corner is a piece of labor's history. Their struggles and their victories are why we celebrate our union contracts. And that makes Chicago the ideal backdrop for the machinists to move forward together.
Every time I give a tour, I always start by saying Chicago is the most important labor city in the world. And I'm going to try to convince you of that. Chicago's labor movement has been strong since the 1880s. And it has been beaten back many times. People have died on the picket line many times in our history, but it continues to fight and continues to grow.
Organized labor in Chicago changed the world. It was the first to address child labor laws and workplace safety. Labor Day is a federal holiday because of the Pullman porters here. This city is why May Day is celebrated around the globe, and the reason we work 8 hours a day and not 18.
Across the country, people marched in cities in May 1st. In Chicago, 80,000 people were in the streets.
And less than a week later, blood ran in the streets, and the history of the Haymarket Massacre was written.
At Haymarket Square, there was a rally to protest what happened at McCormick Reaper plant. At that rally, somebody, and we don't know who to this present day, threw a bomb for the first time in history into the ranks of the police. One police officer died instantly, and as you can imagine, they started shooting. They started shooting their own guys. 7 police officers died. We don't know how many workers, because if you were a worker and you were stupid enough to go to a hospital at that time, you were going to get arrested. More than 100 union leaders across Chicago got arrested. Many of them were not even there that day, and they picked out 8 men and they put them on trial.
But by now, the idea of workers' rights took hold, and the city united.
It's just such an important place for fights for the labor movement. It's fights that were historically significant in Illinois history, in United States history, and I think in world history, of workers that came together and often lost their lives, were hung, were shot, were killed, sometimes just from the work that they did. But that's Chicago.
It's a city that doesn't forget where it came from. The stories of our members celebrate the legacy of labor. The union contract is the American dream. And every machinist contract written is a way to honor those who lost their lives in the fight. Now it's our turn to move forward together as one. A union contract is the American dream. Just ask Mike and Holly, or maybe ask the twins in a few years. They are happy and healthy little boys, all due to their daddy's union insurance.
When we hire new people that come in and they're not from a union shop, and they're like, I don't get it. I mean, this is the story I tell them.
It all started earlier than it should have.
My wife was pregnant with twins, and our boys wanted to visit us 3 months early. She got rushed down to Rush Hospital downtown, admitted in, and then 3 days later, I get the phone call, hey, they're coming, you need to come down here. So I drive from Naperville to downtown, and the boys came 3 months early, weighing 2.5 pounds.
Jacob spent 99 days in ICU, while Lucas stayed 105.
They had to be in the NICU, so they were in incubators, and they had to get fed through tubes through their belly button, and they had an oxygen mask on. heart monitors, oxygen monitors like clipped on their toes, and just wires pretty much just covering their whole little bodies. When they brought me in the back and didn't think that was gonna happen. They had them in Ziploc bags to keep their body heat in. So just like, I mean, they were just like so small.
But the babies were already fighting machinists and made a full recovery. Unfortunately, another shock came a few weeks later.
One day we came home, and I kid you not, there was like 3 bundles of bills. And the best part is you get the bills from the hospital, you get the bill from the doctor, and then you get the bill from like the doctor's office. So you're getting billed by 3 different people, and they're billing you for like the silliest things, like I changed your child's diaper, let me bill you $600. Like, it's just insane.
The final bill for the babies? More than $200,000. But Mike is a diesel mechanic under an IAM contract, and that made all the difference.
Well, we had over $200,000 in medical bills, and with the union insurance, we only had to pay $2,500 out of pocket, and the rest was all covered 100%.
Mike has no idea what he would have done without the machinist. Now, the only stress for Mike and Holly is, well, these little guys.
It's fun. People are always like, you got your hands full, but you know, I just think I don't know life with one of them. So with 2, it's, you know.
Something he wouldn't change for the world. Michelle comes from a union family. She knows the value of a machinist contract. It was one reason she took the job at Harley-Davidson almost 28 years ago. But one call when her son Daryl was just 7 years old verified that her machinist contract was everything.
We got a call from the school saying that, you know, Daryl was sick, we needed to come home. Rushed into the doctor's office and they did some tests, and then they rushed us to the hospital in Philadelphia, and we were there for 2 months. That day changed our lives forever.
The news was overwhelming. Daryl had a brain tumor.
It was just something that happened. It's a rare craniopharyngioma. It doesn't occur a lot, you know, but it was just something that happened.
Surgery was followed by 2 months in the hospital, 4 months off work, a slew of appointments for doctors and specialists. Without her IAM contract, her job would not have been there for her in the end.
I remember my union stepping to me and calling us and telling us not to worry about anything. Just do what you have to do, and everything will be here when you get back. We will take care of everything on our end.
And they did. The IAM protected her job while she took care of her family.
We didn't have to make choices like between food and medicine and paying bills. You know, we had it. We still had money coming in because we were protected.
Daryl is 18 now. He still has some health issues, but he's a fighter. Even wants to be a chef when he gets older.
I am proud to be an IAM member. I'm proud to be a union mother because I know without the union, we might not be here where we are. I know that for a fact.
Go get it. Stryker has a good life. His owners, Dave and Rick, do too, but that doesn't really matter to this pup. Little does he know, that's thanks to a machinist contract.
At this stage of our life, we're both very comfortable. House is paid off, so a lot of people, you know, can't say that, but I know the union played a big part in that.
Dave works as a ramp service lead for United Airlines. He and Rick have spent 35 years together, making it legal in 2014. With nearly 3 decades on the job, retirement is around the corner, and Dave is ready to enjoy the fruits of his labor contract. Their American dream is to spend their golden years on the road. something that wouldn't be possible had it not been for the IAM.
It's hard for a lot of families even to just take their kids to go to Disney World or anywhere just because of the airfare or cost of travel. So it's been really nice to do what we've done. I think that's one reason we've been together so long.
Dave has held every job in his local, from the shop floor to the executive board. He's always fighting for the movement.
I tell people all the time, they're constantly arguing about unions, like what do we need a union for? And I tell them all the time, it doesn't even matter what union you're arguing, as long as you're in a union, we have to keep unions strong.
Retired or not, he knows labor is the last great hope for this country, and he doesn't mince words about it.
I'm not shy to tell them, hey, if you think you do better without a union, then go into management and do something else.
It's mind-boggling to me that people think that a union contract is anything other than the American dream. It's been everything for our family.
Some of us grew up in a union household. It flows through us the minute we open our eyes. Joe learned right away, a union contract pays.
I mean, honestly, it was just in my blood. I mean, my mother would even tell me, you know, you see the braces on your teeth, you see everything around you, this roof that your house is in. I mean, that's all from your father's good job. You know, it's all because of his good union job. So
The tradition continues with his own kids. Joe is at heart and on the job an organizer. He believes in the union life. He's always asking, what would you do for a sense of security?
my union contract has definitely given me peace of mind. You know, like I said, when I'm out on the road and I have to leave my family, knowing that they have a stable environment, knowing that they have good health insurance.
The two of us have built a wonderful life and able to provide immense amount of things for our family, including an environment where our children don't have to worry that there's food on the table. They don't have to worry about whether or not they're taken care of, all because my husband made that decision to join the union.
What would you pay for peace of mind? It's hard to forget how that first union paycheck made you feel.
I stared at it for a while, you know. Honestly, it's hard. It's hard not to get emotional because it's just, it's done so much that, you know, I mean, I can't.
Because it's more than just money. It is the golden ticket to an amazing lifelong ride.
I love you.